Last night I had two vivid and troubling dreams that relate to this song reversal. This is the first time in a while that this has happened, and I can't help feeling that the angels sent it to me for a reason. Whether it is a prophecy of some kind or just a way for them to explain the concept of how money can affect our soul. I don't know, but they were so vivid, I woke up after I had them, and had trouble getting back to sleep. The first one started off with me having drinks and dinner with a savory character, or you could even call him a gangster. He was very nice to me and praised me at every step. He told me that he wanted me to work for him, and the rewards would be great. He wanted me to meet him at another place, about a week from then, where he would give me my first job. At the time, I was excited and agreed to do it, and when the meeting was done, I was walking home and I began to think about the deal I just made. After a few minutes I realized that this was not who I was, and began to regret it, and even become frightened that I agreed. My thought was it could be anything he wanted me to do, and I changed my mind. Then I realized I knew this guy was a violent gangster, and feared that if I did not show up, he would get angry with me and possibly harm me. The fear heightened and it almost became a nightmare. After I woke up from the nightmare, and realized it was only a dream, I thanked God it was and I thought about it. However, it still bothered me. It was at that point, I knew from past experiences, how God and the angels will send dreams like this, to let you know the outcome of how evil can affect your soul, and these dreams can often be sent as a warning or a divine lesson. In summary, in my dream, I found myself sharing drinks and dinner with a man whose charm belied his notorious reputation. He was a figure from the underworld, a mobster, yet he treated me with unexpected kindness and offered me a position in his enterprise, promising substantial rewards. The prospect was enticing, and in the moment, I agreed and we were to meet later for further instructions. As I left the meeting and walked home, the initial excitement gave way to introspection. I began to question the agreement I had made. The realization dawned on me that I was compromising my integrity and spiritual beliefs, and the excitement turned to regret and fear. The thought of being at the mercy of his potentially dangerous demands because of monetary gain terrified me, and I knew that backing out could provoke his wrath. The dream escalated into a near nightmare, filled with the fear of the consequences of my decision or even worse what could happen to me if I didn't show up. Upon awakening from the unsettling dream, I reflected on its contents and felt relief it was only a dream. The unease lingered. It dawned on me that such dreams might be divine messages, intended to reveal the potential impact of malevolence on one's spirit. I understood the dream was to serve as cautionary tale or instructive parable, guiding me towards greater wisdom. In my second dream, which I am not sure was a continuation of the first, however it was related to the first dream and money as well. Someone had died in my family who had a large fortune. Somehow, I found some paperwork that left the entire fortune to me, as well as leaving me the executor of the will. I was a little unsettled, because I knew others were expecting large inheritances in the family, and even though I was happy in the beginning that it was all left to me, I felt guilty, and began thinking about sharing it with other members of the family. One of my concerns was that there were some in the family, who had done the deceased harm, or committed highly criminalistic actions. I felt that they did not deserve anything. So it was very puzzling when I had to decide who, and if they would get some of the inheritance. Then I woke up. After thinking about the meaning of the dream, I came to the understanding that the angels were trying to pass knowledge to me about the following. 1. If in the dream I would have taken all the money, I not only would have felt guilt, but resentment from other family members. 2. The resentments from those members could have caused me further harm as well as hate from others. 3. It was the spiritual thing to do, yet not all things spiritual have easy answers. For example, would it have been fair to give a share to even those who were evil and caused harm to the deceased, and if I didn't, how much fear would that cause in me from those seeking retribution? Synopsis: in a dream tinged with the complexities of inheritance and morality, I find myself unexpectedly named the sole beneficiary and executor of a deceased relative's substantial fortune. Initially elated, my joy soon gives way to unease as I consider the expectations of other family members, who were anticipating their own shares of the inheritance. So in the dream, I grappled with feelings of guilt and contemplated distributing the wealth among the family. However, this decision was clouded by the knowledge that certain relatives, whose actions towards the deceased, were harmful or even criminal, and might not be deserving of any part of the legacy. This moral conundrum led me to a profound realization about the potential consequences of my choices. Keeping the entire fortune could result in guilt and familial resentment, while sharing it could expose them or me to harm or hatred from those slighted. Ultimately, I interpret the dream as a celestial message, highlighting the spiritual importance of fairness, and the challenges that accompany such ethical decisions. In conclusion, I am convinced that the angels conveyed these two dreams to illustrate the impact of our financial choices in life. Making a poor or harmful decision can have lasting consequences, not just on our lives but also on our souls. Such choices can alter our life's path, often bringing about distress and hardship for both ourselves and those around us. Once a detrimental decision is made, it might be irreversible, leading to a pattern of similar choices. These two instances serve as a reminder of how our lives can be transformed. Now, imagine the magnitude of this effect if multiplied 1,000,000 times by similar mistakes made by others.